What is up, New Wave? It's Power Talk Tuesday, the last Tuesday of every month. We get together, we make each other better, we add value. Uh, and I'm super excited for this Power Talk because we're getting back to kind of our roots. We're giving away a lot of free stuff. And as far as the size of the free stuff or the scope of what we're going to offer you guys today, maybe the biggest we've ever offered. And probably, for me personally, one of the most important things in this business that I'm excited to start using and wielding. We got some people giving some testimonials on this fast track training, but I did tease and promise a huge reveal within the first 5 minutes of the Power Talk, somewhat of a bonus premium, if you will. I've been trying to build the hype. If you guys been watching me on my personal page, and if you saw Jenny and I talk about this talk last night, we did this really cool split screen live, and everybody's been, Andy, how are you doing that? And who here maybe has no idea what I'm talking about or hasn't seen me do some of my Farmstrong First 10 with the split screen stuff, or two people are on the live at the same time, or didn't catch where Jenny and I were on together to talk about this talk. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, go check it out because it was really cool. Adds a layer of professionalism. And I've been working a lot behind the scenes about how to get this as a great tool for the New Wave community. And honestly, I want to start with an apology. Okay, so first things first is I've been holding on to this for a while, and I wasn't 100% truthful to some of you about this. A lot of you know me as, hey, I learned something, I do something, and then I share it. And a lot of you were asking me when I came on my personal, like, hey, Andy, how are you doing the split screen live? And I said, hey, it's this new thing. It's in beta. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share it. Okay, so a couple things there. It is in beta, but it's an open beta, and at that point, there is, all of you could right now go in and have access to this. So why I was doing that is I've been really talking about in my challenge groups about, hey, go for touchdowns rather than just go for field goals. So I was working a lot behind the scenes to have something really significant to be able to reveal tonight, but it didn't land right, y'all. And Jenny and I went live last night to talk about this, and it got back to me, hey, Andy, why are you not telling people about Be Live that you can just sign up? Like, are you not about, giving, it just, I got some negative feedback about my intentions on that. Like, the way that it came across was me being selfish and me being secretive or having my own thing and not being truthful and upfront to all of you. And so I want to first just acknowledge that if you felt that way, that's on me, and that was not my intention. My intention was to create some mystique around it and breadcrumb a little bit. So what I do have to announce tonight is going to be really exciting for you all. So if you want to do Be Live, I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. But the go for the touchdown part, here, let me just backtrack a little bit and let you know what I mean by that. So when I say go for the touchdown instead of kick field goal, a lot of people just in life, as soon as they get within field goal range, essentially, field goal range of something they're chasing, they kick the field goal and they cash out, essentially. And they wait till they get the ball back on another opportunity. They go down and they kick the field goal. They don't keep driving and go for the touchdown. If you guys work a little bit more, then there might be a bigger payoff. Sometimes in life, this is just a tidbit, you not only need to go for the touchdown, you need to go for the 2-point conversion and then line up to go for, to block the kickers, like for a full-on return, right? You need to go all in and take some big risks. So I feel very blessed to have found this. It's been extremely beneficial with the Be Live for my business. My average lives are somewhere in the 250 to 450 views. By the time they're done, my first time using this Be Live, I almost hit 1,000 views. So almost more than double just from this program. And it was shared a lot. It just looked more professional, a lot of questions about it. But the go for the touchdown part, was doing some networking behind the scenes with the people at BeLive. So it is a very brand new platform. If you go on their like page, they have only like 6,000 people on their like page. I know there might even be coaches right here that have more likes on their like page than BeLive does. And in their community, there's only about 800 people there. So it's really new. They're just getting started. They're growing, and it's phenomenal. I'm also very weary as the leader of New Wave because a lot of people, they see this community and they want to sell you stuff. And so I get offered a lot of time, hey Andy, I want to post this in your community, and a lot of it's just, it's not great stuff. It's just not great intention. So I always make sure that when I recommend something that they're New Wave people. Okay, so I reach out behind the scenes, and if you guys do know about them, one of their main guys name's Jeff. He's their main broadcaster there. And I asked him if he would be willing to come into New Wave to share what it is and share all of the features that it offers, including their new talk show feature, which you could put 3 people on, and then their new, they have this cool album feature that just came out yesterday. So if you see like what I did with the Farmstrong First 10, you could interview a challenger, and while you're interviewing them, show pictures of their transformation or of their progress, how they've come in real time. You can have, power talks. We could have 3 or 4 people on the screen at once on Facebook Live. And what is really cool is Jeff over at BeLive has agreed to come into New Wave on Monday at 6:30. That's my time. So the power talk time, whatever that is in your time zone. So 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. He's going to broadcast with the BeLive platform. He's going to debut and show everybody the new talk show format, as well as new features that aren't even out yet that they're totally beta testing. And we're going to really brainstorm and New Wave how a fitness coach could use a platform like this to grow your business, directly from the creators and the people who are making the BeLive platform. And what I love about them is if you join their community, they're New Wavers, y'all. Like they promote each other's shows, they give each other tips, they help each other set up. It's this very community sourced, make each other better. There's people in a lot of industries, and so I really trust. And then all I had to do was ask, and they were more than willing to come in and just service New Wave. Tailor their platform for fitness coaches, for business leaders, for entrepreneurs, and really help you in this utilize it for your business. So put that in your calendars. That's our first free giveaway. So that will be Monday, May 1st. I'm going to do kind of in New Wave and then my fitness stuff, a whole month of #SlayMay with a bunch of tips on how to crush May. And we're going to start May 1st in New Wave with how to use BeLive and how to be on the lookout with the talk show format, which is coming down the pipeline very soon. So that's the first announcement. I hope that one didn't disappoint y'all. It's awesome to have Jeff and the people of BeLive working directly with the New Wave community. I really feel like it's an ally, and it's an amazing tool, y'all. I'm excited for all of you to get your hands on that. All right, but Fast Track, it is here, y'all. Gosh, it was August Team Cup. Finally convinced Jenny to join the team. And her and I had some pretty gangster conversations about whether she should join my team for Team Cup, y'all. I remember I'm out farming, I'm irrigating, I'm checking my water. It's late at night. I'm like, she's in the East Coast, and it's like 8 o'clock my time. I'm calling her at 10 o'clock because that's when she's available. Having conversations of what Jenny would need to win to join the Team Cup. And Jenny, what did you tell me? Do you remember those conversations about? And I think on my screen, Jenny's frozen, so maybe I went to Jenny at the wrong time. But
you might be able to hear me still.
I can hear you, Jenny. Yeah. Okay. So go. Like, what did? Yeah. And now you're back. Okay. So what did we talk about before joining Team Cup? Because that's kind of where Fast Track started, was in those conversations.
Yeah. I've done a lot of cups before. I've been on a Team Cup team that got first, and then a couple others that were in top 10 or top 25. And Andy approached me about doing the cup, and I was like, I've done this before, and it has to be in a new direction, because I was going on 3.5 years with my business where I was just doing sales. I wasn't successful at building a team, and I really wanted to switch gears completely. And so after my slump month, I wanted to get back in the game, but I wanted to make sure I was on the right path and that I was going in the direction of building a team and recruiting some coaches. And so for me, if I only got one coach in the month, I was okay with that, because it was like going in a new direction. And so my goal wasn't necessarily to get top 10 with all the people that Andy put together. It wasn't a great team, and we did. And so they worked really hard. I was actually the lowest as far as points that month, but I hit my goals, and Andy helped me do that, because I was aiming to recruit some coaches that month. And 3 of the coaches that I recruited that month are a year later still my biggest, most active and successful coaches. All of them in the running this month for Success Club or have hit it already. And I've had some other coaches that have joined my team since then that have had success. Our fast track that we created, but it just really lined up for the Team Cup team, where we're all growing our businesses. Some people wanted to hit Success Club goals, and as a team, we got to 9th place. It seems like we met everybody's goals that month, and it was great because we didn't all have the same goal, exactly the same. But we grew our teams and our business, and then from that came, hey, we have this team to train, and so let's do something awesome for them.
Yep, totally. And out of those conversations, Jenny and I really try to answer the question, how do we build business builders? And we did something where we were essentially at the fast track of our business. If we set out to crush Team Cup, finish 9th place, we were working hard, and speed breeds speed. Okay. So we got a lot of success. We got a lot of coaches that we recruited out of that event, and we wanted to start them fast because we were moving fast. And Jenny and I, that's what we were both used to. Jenny, she mentioned she started fast. She actually won the Team Cup when she started coaching. I was a success starter. I spent $140 that I didn't have to be a coach, and then it was like $295 to buy the showcase pack for my wife that we also didn't have. And I was under the gun to make that back. And I got the vision, but I was under a lot of pressure, spending money that we didn't have to make it back. So starting fast was not really an option for me, right? I had to. And so we were figuring that out, of what is the difference of, like, one, where do you find the people who want to start fast? And then what do they need? And how do you guide them? Okay. Jenny and I had both done it, but we wanted to teach it. And we hadn't necessarily done that super great until now. So that was the mission that we started out to find, to solve that problem. And what we created was the Fast Track New Coach Training Academy. And I'm really proud of it. There's some people here who are some of our beta testers over in April. I'm going to go to them a little bit later, but I want to answer the question for all of you, because it is available for everybody to offer their new coaches starting as soon as May, as part of Slay May. Okay, so the question is, who is Fast Track for? Can I just give that to everybody and make them start fast like Jenny and myself? Like, does it work like that? And the answer is a resounding no. Okay, so what Fast Track is think of Beachbody On Demand, right? There's so many different tools in there that do so many different things, right? So the Fast Track New Coach Training Academy is the onboarding system equivalent to the original P90X or Insanity. So some coaches or some clients, when they start fitness, they might want to get the basics and start with something like 21 Day Fix. Other people might just want to go change their life dramatically. They don't want to, like P90X might be the perfect program for somebody regardless of what their starting weight is, right? So if you think of Beachbody On Demand as multiple tools in your toolbox, we want to position Fast Track as a tool in your toolbox that you already have. So a lot of people have a current Coach Basics. This isn't necessarily designed to replace your current Coach Basics. This is to be the Coach Basics harder, more extreme cousin, right? The P90X of Coach Basics. And what Janine and I have talked about it, is offering it as an orange ticket. And if you hadn't heard us talk about an orange ticket, I want you to get really familiar about what I mean by offering orange tickets to somebody who wants to join your team. Okay, so I got the orange ticket theory from a book called Fascinate, which is a great book if you're working on branding and stuff. And it's Sally Hodstead, I think is how you pronounce her name. She is one of the world's best copywriters and brand managers in the entire world. Her books are phenomenal. And in the beginning of that book, she talks about the ride Mission Space, which is at Epcot in Florida. So if anybody's ridden that, they give you two options of which version of the ride do you want to ride. And there's a green ticket ride, which is the less extreme ride. And there's the orange ticket ride, which is the more extreme ride. And when you read the warning labels as you're seeing which ride you want to ride, the orange ticket says like, hey, if you have any medical condition, at all, take the green ride. Like, you should not do this. If you get motion sickness, don't do this. I'll exaggerate a little bit, but it almost goes like, hey, if you're like slightly have male pattern baldness, you probably shouldn't ride the orange ride. Like, they just, all of these warnings to like, Chad, definitely don't take the orange ticket ride, right? So, but so they're just saying, hey, all of these reasons, any like 1% doubt, you should take the green ticket ride, okay? And guess which ride has the longest line? The orange ticket, right? Because it has this allure. And when people who, the story that Sally tells in the book is that people who take the orange ride, you get this boarding pass, and it's preparing them for this extreme experience and all of this stuff. So people are taking pictures of it. They're posting on social media like, oh my gosh, what am I getting into? And the teenagers there that she witnessed, that they got done with the ride, they were like, yeah, that was awesome. I can't believe we just did that. They run around, they get right back in the orange ticket because they're really excited for what they just did, because they're survivors, that, they made it. It made it so hard, and it was something they conquered. It was really like a pride moment for them. So they wanted to tell everybody about it. So there was a fascination around the orange ticket that had a social media awareness. And the people who took the green ticket just kind of collected themselves and they moved to the next ride. Okay, so here's the other thing too. A lot of right before they would get to the ride, they would get an out. And they say, hey, I know you've waited in the extra long line for the orange ticket, but it's like right now here, if you want to go to the green ticket, we'll just let you go over there in the less intense right there. You have one more option to go do this other ride, this less intense. And Sally in the book also mentions that the difference in the rides honestly aren't super extreme. The orange one does tilt a lot more, sways from side to side, but essentially the ride is very similar as far as the roles and the actions that the people have to take. But it's the way they proposition it. It's the way they position it, right? It's the expectation raises the excitement. So what if we could create an orange ticket training that would go along and complement the green ticket training that a lot of us call our current Coach Basics? There's a couple problems with Coach Basics, y'all. One is the name. It's basic, right? And so if somebody who's wanting to go for it and you're like, oh, I'm in basics, okay? But what we noticed too is a lot of times Coach Basics is outsourced. Hey, go do this. It's this would run, or go check in with me after you're done. It doesn't really create necessarily a deep connection. It might not fit the coach because it's something your team's had for a long time. It's basic, all right? It's supposed to get the basics, which is great. And some people want that. And some people want the green ticket. So I'm not saying that it's bad at all. I don't want you to get that. I just say that your Coach Basics has a role where an orange ticket training is going to fill a different role. Here's the other thing. You got to take inventory of your current Coach Basics system. Does it have like a documented history of success? Do people who come out of it get like a expectation of results? A lot of times everybody goes through it, and especially the coaches that are maybe just testing out this coaching thing, and so they don't necessarily get results because they're not really trying anyway, right? Fast Track is not for those people at all. Fast Track is only for the people who want it really bad, who see the vision of the business, who really want to lead people, to run their own challenge group. Maybe they were so inspired by you and the way that you ran challenge group, or maybe they're getting great results. People are asking about it. They feel called to pay it forward. People really need the income through this business. People who want to bet on the jockey and the horse, right? They believe in Beachbody, they believe in challenge groups, and they also really believe in you, right? So, and as that combination is, they need something to dive into, and they need success quickly, and they're ready right now. Okay, so when that comes together, and when you position it that, like when you start taking something away from somebody, it makes them want it really more. So a question that I have that I think is really effective is when I'm bringing a new person onto my team, I ask them, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, like how are you really working this business? On 1, 2 is like, hey, I just want to be like a preferred customer, essentially. I just love your motivation, and I'm not really interested in the business, but I would like to be a coach on your team. 5 or 6 would be maybe, hey, I'll talk to it for my friends or family. I don't really want to push the business, but if somebody asks me about it, then I would love to help them. Maybe I'll help you a little bit in your challenge groups. But the 9 or 10s are people who want to do it, right? The people who want to be coaches, the people who want to, you know, we all get this dream, this vision, you know, the Success Club trips right now. These coaches are in Punta Cana, right? Like, so the coaches who are wanting all of that, like all of it, right? The recognition, the money, the help, all of it. The people who want that, and they're just ready to start. Those are the people, and the only people that you should offer Fast Track to. Okay, and what we've found is that when you raise expectation, you raise performance. And when there's an expectation of results, and when the only people that you let in this training are the people who are going to crush it, and when they do, there begins to give this culture of winning and expectation of results. And so you have to guard that. Okay, you have to guard results, and you have to qualify people that are ready, because this version of a Coach Basics, you expect them to, you know, crush it in month 1. You expect them to hit success starters. So we expect them to one, get in the best shape of their life, to even in the month that they're in the training, to get dynamic physical results. We expect them to hit Success Club, to fill out their challenge group, go Emerald, and have a deep connection to you as their mentor, and then actually start coaching. So we bring them to what we call a ribbon cutting ceremony, where they launch their business powerfully, and using that, we get them to actually start coaching and leading their own challenge groups, so they know how to do it. Because it's one thing to get people, it's another thing to actually lead people. And Jenny and I did not want to stop until your coach was actually becoming their own leader, and running their own challenge group and knowing how to do that. And so what happens when you position the Fast Track as this orange ticket, something that only the elite people who join your team do, and you start to get success stories from the people who are graduates, then it starts to snowball to success. Okay, Jenny and I both have, we're creating a collection of success stories. People who have hit Success Club first month, people who have gone Emerald their first month, people who have done just crazy physical transformations their first month. Just really great stuff. Okay. And the magic too here's the extra kicker is that anybody can lead this, because the way Jenny and I design the training is you are not outsourcing it by doing Fast Track. A big part of Fast Track is we work with the leaders and we help the leader and their new coach grow together through their amazing fast start. So why is that important? Why should you spend a lot of time early on to get a coach to start fast? Okay? Because yeah, it's more work. It's a way easier to dump a coach into another training and say, hey, when you're done, check in with me. Okay? But that doesn't necessarily build the relationship as you as their mentor and a coach who really desperately wants, or who bet on the jockey, right? They bet on you as much as they bet on the business. Okay? So we felt it really, and we see this all the time in New Wave, y'all, like orphan coaches, people who are just disconnected from their team. It's because that you didn't go through some stuff together. And I can say that through like some of the awesome team cups, that going through some stuff together is really powerful for your relationship. Jenny and I continue to work together and build stuff together because we went through some stuff together. So we want your coach to go through some stuff together, and you being that help and being there in the pinch, because that's going to set you up for life. Okay, so if your coach gets to 2,000 PV, what is that worth? Have you ever done the math on something like that? So 2,000 PV, that's about a little more than 23, a little less than 23. So a little more than 22 customers that are on Shakeology Home Direct. So those are just residual orders. And so that would also be a coach that they bring in. So they're essentially their team. So if you can get 22 people, you get to 2,000 PV. If you put somebody like that on your weak leg, and I know everybody's team's different, right? But let's just assume that they're taking the 100 PV towards your bonus. That's worth $360 a month for you. All right, so if you can do that, and one coach can easily do that, especially graduating from Fast Track, and get there by by that third month or whatever, get to 2,000 PV. Okay, so our goal is not just in it for you so you can get more money, but we want to bring you closer to your team. And what happens when everybody starts to get this culture of success where you're generating volume is your whole team has momentum, y'all. And when your team has momentum, the business gets really fun. People are starting to win, right? And you have this culture of your team winning, your team's growing, your team they're logging into their office, more people are getting added to their downlines. Not, hey, I signed a coach that was a discount coach, and look, I got 3 coaches join my team, and I got 3 coaches that I thought were there, now they're not there, right? You look in your downline, it's kind of this up and down. If you get this Fast Track system, your team's going to just start to exponentially grow, is our goal. And it's still new. We've just gone through beta, so we're looking for some long-term results and to be able to track the success. But the big thing, guys, you got to guard. You got to guard. You can't just let everybody in this, okay? So I just want to hammer that point one more. Because if you just let everybody in this, then Fast Track's going to get watered down. And then no longer are you offering an orange ticket. You're offering 2 green tickets, okay? So Jenny and I lead the leaders, and that was a big part of what April was about. Jenny, I want to kind of toss it to you. Why don't you fill people in on about like kind of our vision with the leader guide, and how what we did creating a video that actually led the leaders and not just led their coaches for them, what that process was like this last month, and some of the feedback that we've received through doing that.
I want to make sure that you guys understand the purpose of the Fast Track and why it has this leader guide for you to use. And so when we first talked about, hey, we have this Fast Track coach training, what a lot of people didn't get is that it's a new coach training. And so this is like, if you're thinking of this as a tool to help you recruit a coach to your team. So you are trying to build your team, and you're going out and you're inviting some people to become a coach with you. And you're telling that person, sign up with me, I'm going to help you build your business. Well, if you don't have a coach basics or a coach training and you don't have experience leading coaches through that, you're going to be like where I was at. I was not confident when I was going to people and inviting them to the business opportunity because I knew I didn't have a solid coach training to get them to be successful. So that's what this purpose of this is. Now you have the confidence to go out, invite some people, and then train them. Now, of course, you're going to have the green ticket and the orange ticket. You're going to have people that are just discount coaches, or they're just like, hey, I only have like 20 minutes a week. I really can't give much time to this, you know? And you can give them a coach training. They can do it at their own pace. But when you get a coach that signs up with you that's a business builder, now you have the tool to start them really strong and really successfully. And now you have the confidence to invite people that you think could be awesome at this business. And so this is not for every coach, like Andy's saying. This is a recruiting tool for you. And the leader guide is basically your guide. You're the leader, and your new coach is going through the training. And so I want you to kind of distinguish that in your mind. You're not going through fast track. Your new coaches are going through fast track. Okay? And if you don't get that, then it's just not going to make sense to you. This is going to become overwhelming. And that can be why the whole duplication concept can be confusing for people. But you guys are leader coaches and you get it. Okay? And so your new coaches are going to go through fast track, and you are the leader that's going to lead them through it. So our leader guide is like, hey, here's how you lead people through the fast track. Here's how you start a new coach off the most successfully.
So good, Jenny. Thank you for clearing that up. I want to go to Chad and Cheyenne, because their generosity, y'all. They were in the beta group, and the leader guide is as good as it is because of their feedback. We would constantly ask them like, hey, how is it landing on your coaches? Because it's one thing for Jenny and I to lead our coaches through, but it's another for us to give information, let a leader grab it and give it to them. Does it translate? Some things really did well. Other things were tweaked. And we built this on the fly based off the people in the beta group's feedback. So people like Cheyenne, people like Chad, I think they were the only ones who were on this call. That leader guide is as amazing as it is because of their generosity. So I want, first of all, you guys to acknowledge their hard work and being willing to take their coaches through. And then I want to share their experience because they've had, I don't know, I'll let them take it, but I wouldn't say it's maybe 100% positive, but it was definitely a learning experience. So Chad, I want to go to you first. What was it like leading the fast track? And you've been a coach a long time, seen a lot of different things.
Yeah, well, first of all, talk about generosity. The generosity of you and Jenny is to share this with us is amazing. I'm just going to put this out there right away. I've seen a lot of trainings. I've been doing this a long time. I call myself the Beachbody tortoise. I'm always moving forward. I'm always going, but I've been on this kind of a slow track. I mean, I'm not where I want to be, but it's been a great experience. But anyway, this is the best new coach training I've seen, and I've done a lot of them. I think your analogy of P90X was perfect. And not only because it's a little more extreme and a beginner can do it. I mean, when I think of P90X, I used to do P90X after school with a 62-year-old grandmother, and I have 7-year-old students at my school that do it. They can do it, but it requires, they do their own version, but it requires the commitment and it requires more time.
Sure.
And, I think it was laid out perfectly. I can't even, when you asked for suggestions for changes, I really couldn't think of a lot. Personally, I think I put some coaches in there that weren't ready for it. I gauged their interest. I told them it was an orange ticket. They weren't there. I still think they're going to be great coaches, no doubt about it, but they were not at that 9 or 10 level. Couple of them, maybe one of them was for sure. She had some unfortunate things happen that were really serious that knocked her out. But, what I love about it, not only is it a roadmap and it's so thorough, the leader guide, but you said it's very personable. And I think that's the key. I really felt like I was walking along with them, and I'm going to do that more next time with a new coach. I'm going to make it more personal, using, like you suggested, probably a Facebook message thread.
Yeah.
I did a Facebook group, and it's real easy when you post to a group for people, it's not right in front of them. So they're not, unless they're committed to go there at a certain time every single day. Sometimes, they don't see the message. And so I'm definitely going to do a message thread next time.
Very cool.
I took a million notes here. I could go on forever.
No, I just really appreciate that. And then that's one thing too. So as you do it and you lead a coach through it, you get better at it. You develop your own style with it. You know what your coaches need. You get the feel for it a little bit. Jenny and I are we're in rounds 3 or 4, and we've gotten better every single time. Like, we've added kind of another layer to this. From just kind of winging it on the fly to really dialing it in to building the leader guide. Like, it's gotten better every round. And as you do it, like, this is something that as a new coach graduates from it, they're going to get it a little bit more than all of us who are just, hey, we've led other stuff. And here's this new thing. But know that, hey, lead a couple people through it. And then as you develop your own style, your second round, this is something you can just have in your tool bag whenever you get that 9 or 10 coach. And whenever the moment's right to just lead them through something like this, it's here for you guys. So Cheyenne, I want to go to you because my heart just broke for you. You had a coach going Emerald, and life got in the way. And it probably still happened, I think, but the way you were there. But share what this did to you. And when I talked about how Fast Track brings you and a coach closer together, you were there from her, and you kind of went through that with her. Talk to me about that, and then how having something like that to happen to your coach in Fast Track has led to you where it is, and where does it even leave you? I guess I don't want to air everything out if you don't want to air it out. So take whatever. That was an awful question, y'all. That was a bad interview question. So Cheyenne, tell me your experience with it, but I would love to know about as far as the relationship with you and your coach, if you could specifically talk about that.
All right. So first of all, as Chad just said, this training is awesome. I was part of the Carvin coaches, and this is nothing like it. As Jenny mentioned, this is your coach that's going through it. So you're leading them through it, and it's really fast paced, guys. We were working on nothing else other than this. And just to give you a backstory, my coach is a nurse, and she works crazy hours, and she has 2 children, and she has family issues going on. So this was, middle of the night, she's sitting at her desk, quickly checking to see what the post was for the day and getting things done, And so the whole premise, you go Emerald fairly early, which I wish I had this when I started. And it was 11 o'clock in the morning. She messaged me. She's really not that great with technology. So she was having issues connecting to her Team Beachbody account. And then after that, she was having issues ordering stuff. And anyways, long story short, she was on the computer all day, speaking with coach relations, speaking with me. I'm at work trying to help her out and going in an office to answer her question and come back out. And finally, at 11 o'clock at night, she got called into work. And she was waiting for the last person to order, who was going to be her coach on the other side, and it didn't happen. So she felt devastated, but she was okay with it because she said normally she would have quit a very long time ago. From, let's say, noon, when the system wasn't working, she would have quit. But the fact that she knew why she was doing it, and I was there answering all her questions whenever she needed it, she knew that she could do it. There was no questions asked that she could get it done. Finally, she didn't end up going Emerald because it was quite unfortunate. Her daughter had to have emergency surgery. Her daughter's 6, by the way. So that totally wiped her out. And ever since then, I could still tell she's kind of MIA, but we still chit chat here and there, but it's really all about her daughter because she has to go through another surgery. But she did mention every single day. So let me just break it down, guys. So every single day you have the daily post, and you push it out to your coach however way you want. With her, I know she's not that great with Facebook. So what we did was we did emails, because she would check her email all day. So I would send out the email to her telling her, you know, what the daily post is, personalizing it, because that's a fun thing with Fast Track. You can personalize it however way you need it to sound. So there were certain things that I added in there that maybe Chad didn't add in his, because that's how it related to her. Or, you know, she's an introvert. So I made sure put some things about her being an introvert, and I gave her different YouTube videos on the weekend, because on the weekend you get off, but I gave her different videos to look at on the weekend that can help her, you know, reaching out to her market while still being an introvert. So you can really personalize the training to make it fit your coach and to make it fit you as well. So keep that in mind. And it's like every single time she was like, Shy, like this is intense, but I'm happy about it. Like she had lost so much weight in her own journey, because obviously you're boosting up the training, you're going to be boosting up your workouts too. That's a little surprise for your coaches as well. You know, so she went all in, and up until when, you know, the unfortunate happened, she was going so strong. And guys, this is not a new coach that I like recruited for Fast Track. This is a coach that I had a year ago. Like she was my maybe third coach, and she did nothing with the business. Absolutely nothing. And now she decided, you know what? Might as well try it. And she loved it. She really loved it. She loved the feedback that she was getting. She loved the format of everything, you know, so it's an amazing training. Like I don't even know. I kept posting in our message thread, like, I missed the training, because I had no one to go through it anymore. But you guys are going to see, like, once you actually see it, it's so good. Like, thank you, Jenny and Andy. Like, amazing.
Well, Cheyenne, I just want to acknowledge you again, because guys, Cheyenne would come, she would go through, and she was like our copy editor. Yeah. Like every little grammar mistake, we would get it fixed. Because sometimes I was writing leader guide stuff late at night, and then it went out, and those guys totally took care of it, made it better, dialed it in. And it is, I will say again, it is as good as it is because of people like Cheyenne and Chad, who just, you know, took the beta course with integrity and showed up and gave feedback instead of just taking it and giving it. Like, they gave back to Jenny and I. We really appreciate that. You guys, one of the biggest things that we did get out of the beta course was like kind of what you heard with Chad. Like I wasn't quite, those people weren't quite 9s or 10s. And so what Jenny and I realized that when we hit the launch button, like it's open, and everybody can have access to go into it, there's going to be a big flood of people who just want to start giving it, right? And we don't want to lose control of, if people don't quite get what the orange ticket is, then it's not going to work, right? So Jenny and I have talked. Cheryl, you asked how long is the course? It's 4 weeks, so it's 20 modules, and that gets the course gets them from them making the decision that they want to be a coach. So they said, hey, I want to join your team, to actually coaching people and running the challenge group. So through their launch into actually leading people is where the coach goes from, or in 4 weeks. So, so Jenny and I want to create essentially a leader certification program that we're going to create. This is just, we're every time we do this, we add a layer, right? So we're going to create, it's going to be 3 to 5 days. I'm not sure if we've completely hammered it down, but it's going to be about who you let in and who this training is for, so people really get it. And then once you're certified, then you can offer it to anybody. And so once we create that, we're going to start May 1st. So #SlayMay again, get in there. And so it's going to be 1 week, and then that will exist in an automated format going forward. If somebody's new and didn't graduate from Fast Track but wants to offer it, they would need to take the little certification mini course to be able to give it to their new coach. And we're doing that because there's something really powerful in having a coach or somebody jump through a hoop to be able to get something, right? Like the brand new coaches to join, they have to jump through a hoop they have to do some work just to even be able to take the course. And so same with the leaders. I don't want you just outsourcing it. Like, you got to do some work to be able to offer that too. But what I can say is that when you do the work, you guys are going to have the closest knit team that's constantly winning, that you're going to be able to share business success stories as much as you are the fitness success stories. And our goal is also to give you the confidence to go after your chicken list. Because now you got something that somebody who would be on your chicken list would, you feel like you could serve them, regardless of how new or old of a coach you are. You have something where you could serve the people you really, really want on your team, right? So instead of being scared to talk to them, now you can go talk to them with confidence because you can offer the fast track. So, Jenny, I just so appreciate you like updating me and translating for me in the chat. So you're a rock star. I want to spend the last, what do we got? 10 minutes. If anybody has questions, I want to make sure that we answer questions live if you had them. So we're going to post the link in New Wave, and it'll be a separate group, I think, for the first time. And then once we get the group through, maybe even essentially make that somewhat of a trial run, we'll dial it in, and then it'll exist automated as like a pre-course before you actually get the course. So if you've ever taken any of the Who Knows a Guy courses, how that is, you can set up a course before the course. So long term, it'll exist as a pre-course for the course, but on May 1st, it'll be a separate group that Jenny and I are going to kind of run in real time live with you guys. So if you want to get that brief mentorship from Jenny and I about how to offer orange tickets, maybe we should call it like the Orange Ticket Launch Guide or Orange Ticket Training, something like that. And I definitely recommend everybody grab that Fascinate book by Sally. Like, it's huge, guys. It's a great book. I'm reading her second book, How the World Sees You, which is huge. Really, really into her right now. So with that book. But I want to answer any questions. Jenny, did you see any there that?
Hey, Andy, can I jump in for a minute?
Yeah, Chad, for sure.
I just wanted to kind of reiterate the assignments themselves aren't that difficult. I know, we're talking about the orange ticket and, we're building it up. I think it's just more of the time commitment and the consistency is what we really have to drive home. And yeah, there's a little bit of people jumping out of their comfort zone, especially if they're not really comfortable putting themselves out there. But as far as difficulty, it's not that difficult. It's like P90X. You got to show up every day, and you can't do 2 days and then take 3 days off and expect it to work, because it's a sequential thing. And then the other thing, I think it'll just work better one-on-one. I was trying to do it with multiple coaches in one group, and then I was trying to message them personally on the side. And what that did is I just spread myself too thin, and I wasn't able to really commit to the ones that were really doing it. So lesson learned, we get better every time.
Cool. That's awesome feedback. I really appreciate you. Any other questions? Cool, y'all. May's going to be an awesome month. I'm excited. Guys, we've been working on this a long time, and we've been wanting to launch it. And it's one of those things where you just want to get it right, because Jenny and I really feel like, gosh, if this thing is as good as we believe it's going to be, I mean, that's the missing link we see every day in New Wave, is how do you get coaches? How do you get business building coaches? That it just seems like that's the unicorn that people just can't quite find, right? And I spent a lot of time on the tractor. Jenny went to Ecuador, went an earthquake, building this stuff. Like, like a lot of thought, a lot of strategy, a lot of conversations with some amazing coaches in this community all came together to put this the way it is. I couldn't be prouder with the way that it turned out. The people that have helped me make this come to life, and getting it to launch it feels really good, y'all. And if you guys do it and you have success, I would love to hear about your success in New Wave. And coming back to the very beginning of the talk with the Be Live stuff, May is going to be great. I really feel, that I don't want anybody ever to question like where my heart's at, because it's with you guys. You guys make me better. And a lot of the way that I feel love is being able to give stuff like that, give stuff like this away, and hear how it's helping you guys win. So when you guys give me that feedback, like, that's why I coach, y'all. It's why I coach. And working with with Jenny and Cheyenne and Chad and all these other amazing leaders in this community, it makes it feel really good. And when you mastermind like that, amazing things happen. Amazing things happen, y'all. It's like, that's why New Wave works. That's why this community works. And it's all going to be yours, a tool for you guys to use starting Monday, May 1st for the leader certification. And then once you graduate that, it's yours. You get the keys to the fast track. So this has been Power Talk 16, where y'all get the keys. Go take that fast track for a spin. Drive responsibly, y'all. And I'll catch you guys later.